Have you done this? You've gone to the store, you've gone online or somewhere and you bought some bras, 3 bras, all different ones, but all the same size. And yet some of them are your go-to bras and some of them sit in your drawer and you never use them because they're just not quite right. Well, there's a reason for that. Hi, I'm Sherry from Twin Sisters Mastectomy Boutique, and this applies to both mastectomy bras and non-mastectomy bras. Here's the thing, there is no standard sizing. Crazy, right? So it gets so confusing. First of all, most people don't know how to measure for bras. So whatever you measure under the bust, you add 3 to 5 inches. So if you're measuring a 40, you're gonna probably start with a 44 band. And that just blows people's mind. And cup sizes, here's the thing with cup sizes. When you go up a band size, you go down a cup size. So if your proper size is a 44B, you were wearing a 40 band, you were probably, in order to get the right cup size, you were probably wearing a D, a 40D, when in fact, you should be wearing a 44B. Yeah. Insane. So most people wear the wrong sizing. Not your fault. It's a really weird way of measuring. Because if you go from a 40B to a 42B or a 44B, the cup sizes get larger in proportion. So you'll find that it's all baggy here. And so people don't realize you have to go down a cup size. Anyway, but even if you have all that right and you go to a bra fitter like me or somebody else with experience and they say you measure a 38B, it doesn't mean you're a 38B in every bra. It just means that's your starting point. So for instance, if you come in and I measure you and you're a 38B and you leave with 4 bras, 3 of them might be a 38B and 1 of them might be a 40A. Why? Because they all fit differently based on the style, the cut, the fabric, the manufacturer. Even within the same brand, they can fit differently. So let me just show you for a second. This is a beautiful bra by Amona. It is a very full cup. It hugs the body, around the chest area very, very nicely, and that's great. This one is also by Amona, beautiful bra, and it is a slightly more shallow cup. And it's the same size, but it's going to fit very differently than this bra, both by the same company. And then we have another company. This is American Breast Care. And this is the same size, but it's a more shallow cup. And so all 3 of these bras fit differently. And you might end up buying, one in a 38B, one in a 40A, depending. There's also soft cup. These are molded cups, but there's also soft cup options. So this one is by a company called Anita. And I mean soft cup, it's not a molded cup. This one is going to fit differently than this one from Amona. And they're going to fit very differently. You might end up with both 38B, but you might end up with different sizes. The goal is to get you in the right fitted bra, not worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the numbers. In fact, there's this weird phenomenon that happens where people have in their brain that they are a particular size and that's all they want to try on. So I've had people say to me, I'm a 38B, that's the only size I want to try on, I won't try on anything else. And I'm like, okay, just from looking at them, I know they're not a 38B. So sometimes I'll try on bras and I won't tell them what size it is. And they'll be like, oh, this fits great. It's the best bra I've ever, tried on, best fit. And I'm like, okay, so just so you know, all bras are size different. This one happens to be a 42B or something, whatever it is. There's also this thing that happens, I don't know why, but there's people who come in who really identify with their cup size. So if they're wearing the wrong size, let's say that person who came in wearing, who really needed a 44B was wearing a 40 band and then they're wearing like a D cup because that's what fits them, but the band is too tight. Same cup size, it's all weird. They have identified in their own head that they are a D cup and that they are super busty, when in fact they're not, they're a B cup. So me changing their bra size doesn't change their body at all. They're still the same silhouette, the same figure, but it really messes with them. They're like, what do you mean I'm not busty? I've had several women come in who are A and double A cups. So an A cup is very small and a double A cup is almost flat. And they have said to me, I'm a C cup. I'm a D cup. And when somebody does that with their figure, I know I can't say, no, you're not. No, you're an A. No, you're an A, double A. Because they have it in their mind. And they'll tell me that they are so big busted. Meanwhile, they're very small busted. And it's such a, like, what do they think everybody else's bust size is? So there are a few bras that I carry that are French cut, and it's like almost like a balcony bra, and they are sized so small. So a double A or an A can fit into a C cup because it's almost like mislabeled, but that's just the way that the French cups are. And so I'll put them in that and they'll be like, I told you I was a C cup. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And they believe that they're very big breasted, and because of the cup size. So maybe they were in a French cup before. So people are really married to their cup size. A lot of people won't believe that they're not a certain cup size, and it's part of their identity. Huge part. I was in a conference once and the lady next to me was telling somebody else in our group, she said, oh, you know what? I finally got a proper bra fitting and I found out I'm a 38C. And all this time I've been wearing the wrong bra size. And in my head, I know by looking at this woman, she's not a 38C, she's a 42B. Generally. I mean, maybe that particular bra. So please go to somebody who has experience behind them. Please know that even if you are measured to be a 38B in that bra, it may be different in another bra, because people will do that. They'll go to their fitter, they'll be, oh, I'm a 38B, I walked out with 3 bras, 38B, that must be my size. No, it's not your size in all the bras. I don't know. Have you had that experience? I know I worked in a store once as a teenager, and they would size their clothes differently. So if it was a size 14, they'd say it was a size 12. If it was a size 10, they'd say it was a size 8. If it was a size 20, they'd say it was an 18. Because people would put on the dress and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't even like the dress, but it's a size smaller, and they would buy it, right? Because people are hung up on the numbers. So let me know if that's happened to you. Let me know if you've bought something just because of the size, or if you've been surprised to find out what size you're wearing. Like, oh, this is smaller than I thought. This is bigger than I thought. You know, numbers are just an illusion. It's fluid. Like a size 10 in this might be a size 12 in that, might be a size 8 in this. Yeah. So let me know in the comments down below if that's happened to you. Particularly in bras, but not necessarily. And are you married to those numbers? I'd love to know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.